Caution, the video podcast you're about to see is unedited and may contain opinions and language not suitable for all ages. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, welcome back to the second edition of the first edition of the third edition of whichever one this is. It's Two Broke Airsofters. I'm Drew, a.k.a. Lil Reaper.
And I'm Tyler, a.k.a. Legion.
And what the fuck are we talking about today?
I don't remember. So, have you been drinking? Part two. Back in the day, the Japanese invented the automatic electric gun, and the fine people of the world demanded something new, maybe more efficient in some ways, and so they came up with the green gas and the CO2 airsoft rifles.
Now,
pistols.
Was that the Chinese or the Mexicans? Because every time I have Mexican food, I get the green gas.
I feel like it's the Chinese because every time I use one, I want to do it again like an hour later. So.
I don't know how we're going to make it through this one, man. We should have done this one like last month or something.
I know. So.
All I can think of is a little fart bubble somewhere.
So the first time I ever used CO2 was with pistols. I've only touched green gas a little bit. I'm not a huge fan, but I know a lot of folks that do use it. So
only touched it a little bit.
Just a little bit. So with CO2, basically you have a little canister. You can buy them at Walmart. The last time I bought some, I think it was like $12 for a case of 9 or something like that. And then what you do in most cases,
we buy them in like blocks of 50 now.
So you take a magazine and you just shove one of those puppies in there. It's gonna be a mid cap, if you will, or a real cap, is probably a more accurate statement. And that's it. It's self-contained. So that's going to go directly into the, if you will, the hop-up of the weapon. And there's going to be a little valve that releases gas from the canister, and that shoots right out. You don't have any springs. You don't have any moving gears. You have a spring that pushes the BBs into it, and that's it. Very few moving parts.
Very few.
I really like it for pistols, and that's about the only time I use it.
Well, like you said, CO2. I have to give a shout out to Elite Force. I run the Elite Force 1911, which is CO2 powered. These little bad boys right here have gotten me out of I don't know how many scrapes. Like you said, you put a CO2 cartridge into it, you twist it in, you put your 15 rounds into it, bang, 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 you're moving along. The one issue with CO2, it could be a little hot. First couple shots. Last
That's
few
true.
shots coming out are going to drop like a monkey. I mean, they're going to suck because obviously it's CO2. It's going to lose power towards the bottom of the canister. But you know, you got some guns coming out now, rifle-wise. Rifles, Titman's got a rifle out that you can actually use CO2 in the magazines, you know, for an M4. So they kind of progressed there a little bit. But then, of course, you mentioned the other word, which I can't look seriously and think about gas.
Green gas.
Brown gas. But you got your green gas. It usually comes in a can, looks something like this. You put a little nozzle on it. A lot of people use propane, too. But I happen to sport the made in the USA gas just because, you know, it's made in the USA.
America.
But it goes in a magazine about like this, and then, of course, it goes right into the bottom of that little valve right there. I don't know if you can see that valve. Can you see the valve?
Yeah.
Valve. But you put it in there, and it's basically just like CO2. I mean, you shoot out your rounds, magazine's going to lock back. And pistols. where it started at. I mean, that was one of my first pistols. Actually, a friend of ours in Abilene, Paul Borrego, got me started on a wee 1911 gas powered, and it was green gas. But now you've got some that are coming out that you've got the rifles coming out from KWA, rifles coming out from WeTech. They're M4s, they're HKs, they're sniper rifles that are all green gas and are also CO2. You got the Wraith and Bolt system that are coming out from. Oh my God, yeah, I feel like a complete moron now. Wolverine. Yeah, that tells you how many beers I've had already. But they're coming out from Wolverine that are making these sniper rifles and M4s into gas guns again. I mean, it's kind of nice, but at the same time, green gas is very temperamental depending on the weather. I don't know if you've had any issues with it before or...
Well, so playing in Texas, it gets just weird. It gets into this weird place where it's very, very cold in the winter and your green gas starts acting funny, and then it'll get very, very hot in the summer and your green gas starts acting funny. So I think there's a sweet spot, you know, in the normal temperature ranges, below 100, above 50, where it likes to be. But outside of that, it can get really funky.
Well, and along with that, now Neutral's come out with the green, black, and red gas, which is actually made for different temperatures. We saw that at ESR 19, which put on by AMS up in Oklahoma, when it was friggin' 21 degrees below zero. We had a blizzard blowing in. We actually couldn't play the second day because there was so much snow on the ground, nobody could move, and most of the airsofters had frozen to their guns or whatever. But we used some of that green gas up there, and it actually worked well, but it's got inconsistencies to it. I mean, green gas doesn't have that consistency that like your AEG or HPA would. But there's a lot of the guys who like it because of the realism. And, of course, like we talked about on one of our other podcasts, the real caps. These green gas rifles come with 30-round mags. So, you know, does it add a little bit of realism? Does that kick add anything? Does having to pull that charging handle back, is that something that makes the game a little more interesting and a little more fun?
Yeah, I think that for me personally, unless everybody's kind of playing that way, it's not really that fun. But if everybody's playing that way, it is a lot of fun. It sucks to go with a green gas 30-round rifle up against somebody who's got a high cap and is just pulling the trigger and throwing them your way. So I would say that it's kind of depends on the play, but it is a lot of fun if you have the right conditions.
Well, I know they've got a couple games. We've actually been to one or two of them that are GBBs only, gas blowbacks only. I mean, it's all they allow. They are nice. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not much of a gas fan. Like I said, I use the CO2. There's not really a whole lot. I mean, it's a real intricate rifle. I don't know if you've ever torn into one before. And I
avoid it.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal the limelight here. Look, so yeah, I've torn into a couple of them before, and they're a bitch. In all out honesty, unless you know what you're doing and unless you want to put the time into it, they can be just as much trouble as a real rifle. I mean, you've got to take care of them just like that. Vice the AEG or the HPA, which you just stick a new friggin' battery in, you're gone and gone. You know, I mean, it's a pain in the butt.
And I've seen a lot of guys not take care of their magazines. Because a lot of people think I'm going to take care of my rifle. That's just, you know, a lot of people have that beat into them. But they don't think to take care of their magazines. And that is the thing that you're putting your gas into. So I've been to plenty of ops, plenty of weekend games where guys are going to load the magazine. Their O-rings are shot, whether it's because it got really cold or just because it's dirty or they haven't taken care of it and it's gotten brittle and broken. And suddenly all the gas that you just tried to put into it is gone. You know, the canister is a one shot. You put it on there, you shoot it till it's done, and whenever you take it off, it's done. Well, you put it on there and the O-ring shot, all that CO2 shoots out and you're done. You just wasted, you know, $1 or whatever.
You mean something like this?
Exactly.
I always love doing that, man. It's so much fun. She's going to freaking probably yell at me, but who gives a damn? I don't care. I like doing it. But
now it smells like rotting meat in your room.
Yeah, a little bit. But that's another issue with it's one of my cons for the green gas and all, is you got to carry gas with you to reload your mag. So not only are you reloading your mag, you're reloading the gas. So like you said, you can have these valves go bad. You can have the top valves go bad. You can have the bottom valve go bad. There's two valves, two O-rings. Well, yeah, two O-rings. And, of course, a lot of the issue that I have are these freaking plastic crappy feed lips, okay? You can make the whole damn magazine metal, and we got a plastic crappy ass feed lip, okay? I don't know who out there could do anything about that, but hey, if you're out there in the freaking airsoft world and you see this crappy ass plastic feed lip, fix it. You know, we've had to fix a lot of the LM4s feed lips because people, you know, I know I drop my max whenever I'm reloading. I don't grab it and tactfully put it in my vest and then tactfully grab another one and reload. I can't do it. If you're in a firefight, you got to drop that son of a bitch and put a new one in. You drop these $50 freaking green gas mags, you break a feed lip, you just lost a $50 green gas mag. That's
right.
Another issue. How much do you pay for your AEG mags?
Man, I buy them in bulk, and it's not a lot.
Yeah, you're talking $50, $60 for maybe what, 5 or 6 of them?
Yeah, I think I paid $70 for 10 once. You know.
Yeah, CO2 mags, you're talking $30, $40 a pop, $50 if you want an extended mag. Green gas mags, you're talking $30, $40 a pop, and then if you get into like the LM4s and the AKs and all that, you're talking $50, $60 a pop on the magazines. And now you're also carrying that extra weight because they're not that polymer. They're metal. I mean, they got some heft to them. They're not these cheap, cheesy little fine things except for the damn feed lips again. It's just me. I hate feed lips. But, you know, realism-wise, I mean, there's some people out there that like it. There's some people that hate it. You give me my CO2 and my pistol, that's all I want. I don't care about green gas other than that. I mean, only gas I want is the one that goes in my truck and gets me to another damn event. But
yeah, I find that for me it's easiest just to have those little canisters. I can carry a few of them in my backpack in the spaces that are already attached in it for, you know, putting shotgun shells in, and it's easy for me to reload them. I keep them in that pistol. And to be honest, I have used CO2 pistols that were more accurate and shot farther than a lot of AEGs. So I've always been really impressed with that.
Well, that's about all I got to say about gas, unless you got something to add to it, because I'm not a big proponent of it. For those of you that are, I'm very proud of you. I'm happy to say go ahead, grab your gas guns because you're going to be the only one grabbing them. But other than that, man, I don't know what else to say about green gas and CO2.
Yeah, and I can't say it's wrong to use green gas or CO2. You know, you do what's best for you. Just for me, I don't like thinking about all the logistics of it. You know, for AEGs, I just throw a battery in and a mag in and I'm good. You know, HPA, I screw in my bottle and I put in my mag and I'm good. The green gas just requires me to think a little bit.
First you said gas and now you're screwing in bottles. Okay, and this is why we don't airsoft very much together, because we never get away from the vehicle. But, yeah, on that note,
this is why we don't serve alcohol at airsoft events.
Yeah, bad idea. But, what's our next topic?
Next week we will be doing shots and talking about HPA, I predict.
Shot. As long as we're not getting shots out of HPA.
Oof.
Nothing like a 360 foot per second shot going down your guzet. But
I'm gonna need a tight bore on that one.
But from the Two Broke Airsofters, this is Drew, aka Lil Reaper.
This is Tyler, aka Legion. Catch you next week.